My grandchildren, in the times of which I shall tell, South Dakota was the land of the Sioux. In the Pahasapa, the sacred hills, the Great Spirit dwelled, and the holy men of our tribes came to commune with him in their visions. It was in the days of the open prairies, stretching away and away, over hill and valley and plain, with nothing to stop them but the sky. It was a sea of shining green, sailed by drifting cloud shadows. It was the home of the fleet of foot and wing. It was shared by Pite, the bison, and by all the little dwellers of the earth. All this belonged to the Sioux. To the Sioux, the seasons were as a great circle. With the spring came new life. Over the summer grasses, the young ones grew to adulthood. Autumn was the time of ripening, and in the winter snows, the old ones remembered their childhood. There were many great tribes of the Sioux Nation: Sisseton, Wahpeton, Yankton, Teton, Burned Thighs, Minikawaju, Ogallala, Honkpapa. The Sioux speak of themselves as Dakotas, meaning alliance of friends. Each tribe had trusted men to record its history. Great was their seeing medicine, and the stories they put down in truth. On a buffalo hide, carefully tanned, the story catchers painted the important things of each year. Often the Wichashawakan, holy man, would help the story catchers paint the legends. This was the winter count begun many sleeps ago. And great was the interest of the people as it was recorded. The old ones tell of how the Sioux Nation was born. Many, many winters ago, a great flood covered all the western lands. To get away from the rising waters, many tribes fled to the hills of the prairie, now called the Kato in northeastern South Dakota. In the Kato, the water rose higher and higher until it covered all our people. Their flesh and blood were turned into red pipestone. So say the old ones. But near the end, as the waters came on without stopping, there was one who was the most brave and beautiful of all her people. And still she tried to escape the waters lapping at her feet. At last Wambali, the great eagle, swooped down from the realm of the thunderbird, and the young Dakota maiden caught hold of his feet. The eagle carried her away and away. At last he brought her to the top of a tree on a great hill. When the waters went down, the war eagle, now changed into a mighty warrior, came down from the hilltop with the maiden, leading twins. So the great Sioux Nation was born. The sacred pipestone, which was the flesh of our ancestors, is smoked as a symbol of peace. In ceremony, the pipe is always offered to the 4 cardinal directions and to the Grandmother Earth before it is offered to the Great Spirit. There is a story of how the pipe first came to the Sioux a very long time ago. 2 scouts looking for bison saw something a long way away, toward the place where the sun always rises. When they approached, they saw it was a woman. One of the scouts, being foolish, had bad thoughts, but the other said, "This is a sacred woman. Do not lust for her." The woman knew the thoughts of the wicked warrior, and when he went to her, a white cloud covered them. When it blew away, the foolish one was a skeleton. Then the woman said, "Tell your people that they shall build a teepee for me at the center of the nation, and I will come to them." The other scout, much afraid, returned to his people, who built the ceremonial lodge and waited for the sacred woman. After a while she came, very good to look upon, and singing. As she took the sacred pipe from her bundle, the people saw it was carved with a bison calf, to mean the earth that bears and feeds us. Below the pipe stem, eagle feathers for the sky and the moons were tied with the grass that never breaks. "Behold," she said, "with this pipe you will multiply and be a strong nation. Nothing but good shall come from the pipe. Only the hands of the good shall take care of it, and the bad shall not even see it." Then she left, walking sunwise around the circle and singing. And as the people watched, suddenly she was a white buffalo, and then she was gone. High in the Nakota is a great stone marked by the thunderbird. Long before the days when Sioux moccasins passed in the buffalo grass, others came to pray here. The thunderbird writes the mysteries of the moon and stars in the sky. His is the power to make live and to destroy. He rides on the wings of the clouds, and his voice is the thunder. Our people send a voice to him with the power of the pipe. Beneath the weight of the thunderbird's foot, the mountain sinks. A legend still believed by the Sioux was born in Pahasapa, the beautiful Black Hills. When dusk comes to this land, the rocks turn into spirits that sing strange songs. Healing waters flow from the rocks, and the people fill their buffalo horn cups and drink, and are pure again. On the cliffs, unknown hands have made strange pictures. These are read by holy men to guide the people in good living. In the days of long ago, when the buffalo were many more than we could count, there lived a maiden called Nakota on the shores of Lake Campesca. Nakota was young and good to see, worth many gifts and horses. Many were the young braves who boasted of the time when they would be doing great things, stealing horses, killing buffalo, counting coup on snakes and crows to win Nakota. But the heart of Nakota belonged to a neighboring hunter, and none other pleased her. At last, to silence the noisy young braves, Nakota promised that whichever one of them could throw a rock the farthest into Lake Campesca, she would follow to his lodge. Many were the rocks the eager braves hurled into the waves, but whenever one claimed that he had thrown the farthest, Nakota shook her head and covered a mischievous smile with her eagle-wing fan. The dancing waters held the secret of who had thrown the farthest. No one could judge the exact distance. So many rocks were thrown that an island grew in the lake, and still the shy maiden shook her head no. It was getting toward the time of the evening meat, the sun near setting, when at last the braves realized they had been tricked. Sputtering like wet buffalo fat thrown on the fire, they carried the young maiden out upon the isle, to leave her there without meat or water, until she would say which one she would marry. But Wakantanka appeared in the form of a great white pelican, who brought her food, and after many suns had set, her lover returned in his canoe and took her away to his lodge. And that is how Maiden's Isle came to be in Lake Campesca. Up in the Badlands at the edge of the world sits an Indian woman who is Ga'ihuni, come to very old age. She decorates a buffalo hide with porcupine quills. Her dog watches her. When the fire under her kettle of herbs gets low, she gets up to put on more wood and to stir the herbs. While her back is turned, the watchful dog unravels her work again. This has been going on for thousands of years. The old woman quills, the watching dog unravels. If she should ever finish her quillwork design, it would be the end of the world. So says the Sioux legend. If one would but listen to the hills and bluffs, they would have many stories to tell. The story of Snake Butte near Pierre is Woyakapi, a true story. It was in the moon of falling leaves, when the dry grass was yellow on the hillsides, that the moccasins of a young Arikara scout were softened by the morning dew. The Arikara were at war with the Sioux, standing straight as a young cottonwood on his hilltop lookout. The Arikara's sharp eyes saw nothing but the yucca above the banks of Minnesota. When the Sioux arrow found its mark, the brave Arikara began his death song, running with his last breath to warn his camp. Proud were the Sioux of their enemy's courage. On the long trail of his death run, they placed a rock over every drop of blood, forming in the center of the long curve the sacred symbol of their own tribe, Kea, the turtle. To this day, the stone trail above the Missouri is called the Sioux Mosaic. Once upon a time, a Sioux returned from a hunt, bringing with him a second wife. The woman he already had ran out of his teepee in anger. Long she walked, many suns, many sleeps. One evening, when the moon was staring low over the edge of the world, she stopped to rest on the bank of Cherry Creek. It was Lila Osni, very cold, and she was very tired. She thought she would surely pass into the spirit world, but the snow blanketed her as she lay down to sleep. Near dawn, she was awakened by something warm and wet on her cheek. As she opened her eyes, a wolf dog was gently licking her face. The four-legged led the woman some distance to a sheltering cave. They learned to talk together. During the long winter, he brought her fresh meat every day. In the moon, when the ponies shed, the wolf dog led Lives in the Cave back to her people, and she went south with them to the country of the wild roses that is now known as the Rosebud Sioux Reservation. True as the tongues of our ancestors is the brave tale of the fool soldiers. The old chief of the Sioux near the trading post that was called Fort Pierre was wise. He knew his proven warriors could never outtrade the hostile Santees for their white captives, for it would surely end in war. Thus it was the young braves of the Fool Soldiers Band set forth. Strong hearts like Martin Charger, their leader, kills game and comes back. Strikes Fire, Red Dog, Four Bears, Charging Dog, One Rib, Mad Bear. Names that struck pride in the eyes of many a mother and grandmother, awed the little ones, caused envy in the not yet proven boys. Taking with them all the finest horses and gifts they could offer, young warriors not yet rich in the slimness of their years. Perhaps it was Iktomi, the spider god of mischief, who caused the bad Santees to hold captive the Washichus, where they camped far away at the forks of the Grand and the Minnesota. Hard was the Santee chief, not content till all the trade goods was given, even the last fine horse of Martin Charger. "Wash day," said the chief. "Good." And the fool soldiers went to claim the white captives. Only the oldest, thinnest mare was left to carry the Washichu with the injured foot and pull the travois of children back to Fort Pierre. Over the long back trail journeyed the fool soldiers, their moccasins whispering against the tall buffalo grass. But one, their leader, walked without moccasins. His moccasins had been given so that the white woman need not tread the cactus on tender feet. Tall with pride walked the great Sioux chief as the fool soldiers returned to the Fort Pierre camp. Loud would be the voices raised to call out their names in tribute, and many the campfires that would hum with the praises sung then. Many, many snows ago, before the Pask came to be the state flower of South Dakota, it was the flower the Sioux loved most. The Pask flowers were the first sign the long sleep of winter was over, as they put out the lavender blankets from their golden throats. It was a happy sight, because soon spring would come, and the young ones would play. Long ago, when the spirits walked the earth, one of them was telling how he helped the winged creatures and the four-leggeds, who are brothers and sisters of the Sioux. "I have made feathers for the birds to keep them warm, and to flee their enemies, and to dance before their mates," the spirit said. "I gave the turtle his house, the muskrat his fur coat, and the bear his strong claws and keen nose. To the elk I have given antlers. To the bobcat I have given the color of the trees. I have given great strength to the mountain lion. I know of none I have not helped." Just then a mother deer looked up. "You have given me to run like the wind," she said, "but how are the little ones to be saved from the sharp teeth of the coyote?" "I will help you," the spirit said, and he took his brush and paints and colored the fawn with spots of sunlight, and ever since the fawn can hide safely in the leaves and shadows. In the bright days of summer, the flowers danced above the grass like a carpet of sparkling jewels. Great was their gift of pleasure to the runners who carried news from village to village. Happy were the feet of the maidens who ran among them, and joyful were the wingeds of the air dancing among their blossoms. But some of the flowers bowed in sadness. The Great Spirit was puzzled, and he listened. "Where will we go when the white giant comes from the north, and we all must die?" the flowers were saying. "We too make the earth good to look upon. Should we not go to a happy hunting ground of our own?" Wakantanka nodded his head, smiling. So now, after the rain clouds of summer, we may see the lovely flowers of last year arching across the heavens in a smiling rainbow. The legends of the Sioux are out of a past older than anyone knows. They are simple legends, born of the ways of people who have lived as brothers and sisters to all of nature's creatures. Their roots are one with the trees. They talk with the sun, the wind, and the rain. And they know the language of the birds and animals. All people who have ever lived on this beautiful earth have legends. All have great men. Ours are Sitting Bull, Gall, Crazy Horse, Rain in the Face, Spotted Tail, Red Cloud. When the legends die, something within the people dies. To the Sioux, our legends are something that cannot be measured in gold. No people's legends can. This is a great and beautiful country, and it will stay that way as long as people have stories to remind them to live for greatness and beauty.